Good morning, friends. Hello, hello. Hello, friends. Hope you're doing great this morning. We gather in our little live digital sanctuary here. Welcome to the office. Everybody's keeping warm on this day. Hasn't got above freezing today yet, so it is proper winter as we find ourselves together. Hope you're keeping warm and that there's goodness in your days and all of that. Hey, Jamie Battles, good morning to you. Hope you're doing great. Good morning, good morning. Hello, everybody. It's been so much fun lately as we get closer and closer to the holiday coming up and all of its goodness. Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. That the day's finding you well. All right, let's get going this morning. I anticipate we'll have some more folks coming along. Good day to you. It is the 16th day of December. We are halfway through December already, and we are at this 11:11, and I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you are with us that this morning. Hey, good morning, Karen. Good morning, John. Glad to see everybody's coming along. Hope you're all doing great in this time. Welcome wherever this finds you, whether you're hearing it for the first time, whether you're live with us right now, no matter where you are and what you find, that love and joy and peace may be upon you. The psalmists, the psalms are filled with the invitation to sing. That that in fact it's a command that we find again and again and again. I didn't look up how many times it says sing to the Lord or some variation thereof, but it says it again and again and again. There's this invitation to sing. Modernity has done an awful job on us as people of singing. Just even 30 or 40 years, even when, before, even while in my lifetime, we have seen the journey of people singing together in groups go from a thing that groups of people would do to this way in which it's become professionalized and auto-tuned and kind of broken, and that the closest we get is to like a liquored up night of karaoke. That many, if you go to less traditional worship services, you will find praise bands and worship bands that are not really in the business of inviting people to sing with them. Sometimes it will happen, but often they're just more in the business of presenting music. That has been more and more the case. That in fact, outside of the shower and outside of karaoke, we are invited less and less to sing in this world, and it's in fact one of the first things that people will do in kind of a mocking thing is if somebody dares to sing something that is as they might say on The Voice, a little pitchy, that they can immediately might meet scorn and ridicule. And I want to invite, if there's ever a season to kind of break this, if there's ever a season to kind of push back against modernity, this is it, right? We have the songs of Christmas, the songs of Advent, the songs of this season this is the musical season of the Christian world. There's no question about that. And so I want to read to you, I want to invite and go into the 96th Psalm this morning, because this is the Psalm of the invitation to sing. And just look at what it says, because it's about unlocking some things within us. It's about opening ourselves to to the movement of God in a way that is very different than maybe the way we would think of. And that the way our kind of earlobes up engagement with faith or our earlobes up engagement with the world actually is foiled and is sabotaged when we embrace the idea of singing, even if it's just in the shower, even if it's just to ourselves, even if it's just the invitation to make a joyful noise. That when we find ourselves down in our diaphragm somewhere, when we find ourselves up in our chest, when we find ourselves projecting sound into the world in a rhythmic way, in a melodic way, it doesn't matter if it's on key, it doesn't matter, it's not what I'm going to talk about excellence here, and how quickly now we can be handicapped and we can recoil in our sense of singing. But I want to invite, so here, this is the 96th Psalm of David. Sing to the Lord a new song. Sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord, praise his name. Proclaim his salvation day after day. Declare his glory among the nations, his marvelous deeds among all peoples. For great is the Lord and most worthy of praise. Ascribe to the Lord, all you families of the nations. Ascribe to the Lord glory and strength. Ascribe to the Lord glory due his name. Bring an offering and come into his courts. Worship the Lord in the splendor of holiness. Tremble before him, all the earth. Say among the nations, the Lord reigns. The world is firmly established. It cannot be moved. He will judge the peoples with iniquity. Let the heavens rejoice. Let the earth be glad. Let the sea resound, all that is in it. Let the fields be jubilant, and everything in them. Let all the trees in the forests sing for joy. Let all creation rejoice before the Lord, that he comes to judge the earth. He will judge the world in righteousness and peoples in his faithfulness. All of creation rejoices. All of creation rejoices. And what do we say? What does the psalmist say that looks like? It looks like singing. It looks like rejoicing in song. You know, you might wonder why I'm talking about this, but I recently I've been joined choir here. You know, I've been kind of wanting to for a long time. We finally had some movements, we had some people come in. We've been able to rejigger things so that we can make it work. And I will tell you, just as a testament, it has been a great joy to me to be able to know that a part of my Sunday is going to be about raising up in song that with not just in opening the hymn book, but actually spending a little time on the rejoicing before God, that singing to the Lord a new song. Sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord and praise his name. So why, and it always begs the question, why singing, right? Well, there's certain things that happen when we sing, particularly when we sing in a group, but I want to kind of extend this to creation. What happens when we sing in creation? Because creation, what the psalmist tells us is creation is singing to us. You know, we used to live on the sailboat. We've lived on our sailboat for a few different times in life, and one of the things I love about living aboard is that you are close to the elements of the earth. Like, you can be in your house and you can like look out and maybe see that the wind is moving, or you can hear something creak here and there, or you might know that you might hear some rain on the roof if you're in the house. But if you're in a boat, if you're on a boat, you know, even in a harbor, even at the dock, you're in a boat, you will hear the wind and it will sing to you. You will hear the rhythmic lapping of water against the hull, and it will keep a beat for the living of your days. That when you start to think about the elements of music, melody, rhythm, syncopation, all those sorts of things, all the elements of music are present in creation. And one of the great gifts of living aboard, that if you opened yourself to it and had an ear for it, you were quite literally all the time kind of bathed in the song of creation, that the natural world was really creating these rhythms, was really creating these instruments. That, on a good night, when if the wind wasn't too strong or it wasn't too hard, there was the way in which the rigging would sing. Sometimes it gets angry if it's too much, but when the wind would blow through the rigging, there was this way in which there would almost be a hum in the boat, and it would speak to you. The most famous piece of gospel that all of us know is the one that we see at football games, the John 3:16 gospel, right? For God so loved the world that he sent his only begotten son. That there is this way in which, the operative word in that phrase is sent. That and that and that when we think about creation and we think about this engagement of not just the kind of not just the rhythms of the natural world, but we think about what is happening when we raise ourselves up in song. There is this way in which we send our song to God, and in which God sends his song to us. That songs, we think we sing for somebody or we sing for a thing, but songs really are sent, aren't they? Like, and in fact, I'm old enough that we used to make mixtapes. Anybody ever make a mixtape? That anybody sit there on the radio maybe and like wait for the thing. No, if you're young, you have no idea what I'm talking about right now. But there was a time when you didn't have music available, and you had to actually make a recording of music. And if you wanted to send a message to somebody, particularly like, if you liked a girl or something like that, you would make a mixtape, and you would record certain songs, and you would send it along. That you would send the songs of affection, you would send the songs of that you liked, you'd send the songs that touched you and touched your heart, you would send them out. For God so loved the world that he sent his son. For God so loved the world that he sent his song to us. And the invitation when we can raise our voice in song is that we send our song to him. It doesn't have to be on key, it doesn't have to be pitch perfect. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be right in any way. We have perfectionized and professionalized song in such a way that we have taken one of the most powerful and most beautiful implements within our own ability to raise up our hearts from despair, to enlighten our minds from dismal concentration, to enliven our bodies and bring it alive. All of those things happen when you sing. All of those things happen when you sing. Like, it's in some ways it's impossible to be depressed when you sing. In fact, in some ways it's impossible to be locked in neuroses or anxiety when you sing. In fact, there are things that happen in your body in terms of the endorphins and the things that get released, that when you sing, your body actually opens up. That in fact, if you sing with a group, there's this way in which your heartbeats begin to syncopate, and your breathing begins to syncopate. If you sing with a choir, you will actually start to breathe and have your heartbeats come into rhythm together. That part of this whole thing is that you will become in concert with the people around you. You will, and not just like you'll be singing together because you're in concert, but you will be in connection with them. And that you might send your song to each other and to your Creator and to one another. So friends, as we enter this season of song and all these carols, all of the beauty of it, what really made me start to think about it, what actually made me think of this was, we had our kids, our kids haven't been singing much over the past years. They've been kind of stumbling through it. But we had our kids sing 2 songs at our little potluck on Sunday, and it was so fantastic and so beautiful. And they weren't particularly religious songs. They sang Rudolph and they kind of stumbled through it. But what happened is as they began to stumble, everybody else, all of the adults, all of the people there began to sing with them and began to buoy them up. And began to that Rudolph began to take on this whole room of 30 or 40 people that would come alive with our kids, with our instructors, that we began to sing as one body. So it didn't matter if you were 3 or 30 or 90, that if you were in that room, you were alive with each other. And those couple of songs were one of the sweetest moments of our potluck together on Sunday. I offer you that to remind you that we have the best soundtrack ever created in this season. These incredible carols, these incredible songs of this season. Give them to yourself. Send them to yourself and be buoyed, be in concert with creation, and let yourself be enlivened, and let yourself come alive in them. Sing, even if it's just in the shower, even if it's just where nobody can hear you, even if you're so shut down to it all. Find a place, find a moment where you can open your voice, open your heart, open your being to the one who made you. For God so loved the world that he sent his Son to you. For God so loved the world that he sent his song to you. So sing to the Lord a new song. Sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord and praise his name. Amen and amen. Have a great day, friends. Good morning, Vicki. Glad you made it in. Peace and grace to you all, and we'll pick it up tomorrow with another 11:11.